everyone, welcome back. So we did our 2 rows of double crochet stitches, and we've got this really nice little line in the middle because we went in the front of the stitch, so it's given us a nice little just a nice little line there. Now what we can do is we can either go into the back of the stitch and continue with that, but I think let's go into both, because what we want to do is maybe define the stitches that we're just going to do, because we're just going to now practice a half treble. Okay, so you want to wrap the wool around your hook. We're going to go into both, pick the chain up completely. We're going to pull through our wool so that we've got 3 loops on the hook, and then we're going to wrap our wool around and we're going to pull that wool through all 3 loops. Okay, so that gives us quite a nice long stitch there. Okay, so we'll do that again. We're going to wrap our wool around, we're going to go through both, so you've got both on your chain on there. You're going to pull that through, and then you're going to pull the wool through all 3 loops. Okay, so you can see again it gives you a different style, different type of stitch. Okay, so we're going to wrap the wool, we're going to put our hook through, so we're picking up both. We're going to pull our wool through. We've got 3 hoops on the hook, and we're going to pull our wool through all 3. Okay, so we're going to wrap our wool, go through both and pick up, pull the wool through the chain. Okay, and then we're going to pull the wool through all 3 loops. Okay, so you've got that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do that till the end and see what that looks like. Okay, you just have to listen to my dog snoring, I'm afraid. So pulling that through 3. Wrap, push it through. 3. And like I said previously, if you're practicing any other stitches, just incorporate them into this if you want to do a row at a time. This is purely just practicing the basic stitches that you're learning, and putting them into something that you could potentially give to somebody as a gift. You don't necessarily have to use a multicolour wool like I have. You could use something that is just all one colour. I've gone for multicolour just because I liked the wool and it was really cheap. Now I think on this what we're doing here, because it's going to be a scarf, I'm just going to do 2 basic stitches, and one's my DC and the other one's my half treble. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the end here, and we will do we'll have a look and see what this is like. But then my next row is going to be a half treble again. Okay, I'm putting that through all 3 stitches. Wrap. So when we get to the end of this one, if we are doing because we're doing a half treble, normally what is recommended is that you chain 2, so that when you turn, the chain is the same height as the stitch that you're doing, so it doesn't cause your work, or it shouldn't cause your work, to look distorted. Okay, so that's my last stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do 1, 2, ready for our turn. So you can see that that's this side here. So you've got this little ribbony effect here. That's where we did our double. And we can either do, I would suggest what we do is we do a half treble stitch, but when we're turning it, let's do it, when we do our next row, we'll do a half treble stitch, but we'll do it in the front of our stitch, so that we've got another line like that. So you're essentially going to have like different lines going up, because that will just keep the pattern consistent. I hope you're pleased with what you've done so far. Happy crafting, have a good evening, and join me for when we do the next row. Take care, bye.